It's the Sunday Morning Brew with Maddie and Elle.
Good morning.
What's up, guys?
What is happening? Are you as tired as I am or what?
I hate late cards so much.
Dude, I am way too old for this shit. Way too old for this shit. I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings. There's no reason that I need to be at a Buffalo Wild Wings till 1 a.m. There's just no reason.
I watch pay-per-views at home. I don't go places. That way it's like I can go right to bed immediately.
I know. Well, luckily Buffalo Wild Wings is literally right down the street from us, but still, you're right. It was like, God damn.
Yeah, then you gotta. I'm like already in my PJs before the main card starts. Like,
yeah, facts.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It's Maddie and Elle, and this is the Sunday Morning Brew, and we're so excited to be here with you this morning. Last night was insane. I don't think you could have asked for a better UFC 303 after all of the bullshit that was going on. I think the card absolutely delivered. I want to give a huge shout out to Wow Wipes. They are the official sponsor of the Sunday Morning Brew, the ultimate workout companion for women on the go. And let's be real, ladies, like we don't want to smell, especially after working out. So it's like a little boop. You just grab a little wipe, fix yourself, you're good to go. And they have an awesome deal right now, 50% off. So all you got to do, scan the QR code, and you'll get that deal. So big shout out to Wow Wipes. I love the name too. Wow. Wow. That's so cool.
It's just the Owen Wilson.
Exactly. Okay. First things first, coffee. What are we sipping on? I'm going to grab mine.
I already made mine. I couldn't wait. I'm dying today. I already had a caffeine headache, so.
Dude, are we old? Listen to us right now. Listen to us. We sound like freaking crotchety old ladies.
We're grandma.
I swear to God, people, we're cool. Okay, so
I'm gonna let her lie to you. We're super lame. All I do is watch fights.
All I do is watch MMA and drink coffee, and that's why we have this podcast. So there we go. Espresso, caramel espresso.
Ooh.
A little bit of almond milk and a little bit more caramel because I'm a psychopath.
Are you frothing?
Yeah, baby. Little ASMR for you.
I'm gonna get you one of the electronic frothers, like that you put it in and it makes cold foam for you.
Honestly, though, like it's kind of satisfying to do it myself.
That's fair. I'm lazy. I just want to set it down and the cold foam to appear.
Like, come on, this is so satisfying. Okay, so coffee is made, milk is frothed. Let's talk MMA. Last night, right off the rip, what was like one of your favorite moments? It's so hard to eat. Like, that's such a silly question.
I mean, how much of a gangster is Dan Ige?
Dude, I'm so glad we're starting with that because I was like,
I've never seen that. That was insanity.
Unprecedented moment in UFC history. Hours notice. We're talking 4 hours notice. Unbelievable. And I saw a couple of comments online being like, how is this even possible? Like, how did he get cleared? Let's not forget, he was already ready to fight in a couple weeks. He was licensed already. Right. The paperwork was done. Like, this is why it was allowed to happen.
Medicals, all that.
The paperwork was done. So not only is Dan Ige a savage for being like, yeah, I want to fight, but the amount of emotional turmoil that poor Diego Lopez had to go through and then still have an amazing performance.
Yeah.
How can you not love both of them now? Like,
I think this, I hate to say this because he still had a great performance, but I do think in a way this kind of hurts Diego Lopez a little bit that he didn't have this spectacular finish and then, kind of like in some people's eyes lost that third round.
Oh, and yeah, I had him losing the third round.
So I think that this is it was kind of I don't want to say it sets him back, but had he come out and beaten Brian Ortega in the exact same way that he beat Dan Ige, he would have gotten an immediate title shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, or if he had come out and spectacularly finished Dan Ige in the first round, he would have gotten a title shot off that. But a 29-28, lost the third round decision. I don't know that comes for him now. I think he was in such a perfect spot, and then all these things that were out of his control kind of maybe pushed that title shot back a little bit for him, which, like you said, had a fantastic performance. And I can't imagine how difficult it is to prepare for one guy at 145 and then be fighting a totally different guy at 165.
Right. Like let's take into consideration the mental roller coaster for sure. But going on what you said, you're so right. Like I think there was this air about Diego where everybody was jumping on the Diego train, rightfully so. This man is super talented and fun to watch and explosive, but there was becoming this narrative around him where it was like he was ready for the top 5, you know? And to have Dan Ige come in and strike when Diego wasn't really ready for that kind of striking, I would argue, it kind of showed, okay, this man still has some holes. Like, let's figure it out. So yeah, I totally agree with that sentiment.
And then that third round leaves a question mark. It was like, oh, would Brian Ortega have won this fight? Which
I hate that though.
I hate
like,
that. It's unfair. It's
right.
Unfair.
It's 2 totally different fights. Like unreal. I wasn't surprised to hear that Brian couldn't fight because he doesn't miss weight normally. So like when he missed weight, I was like, oh, like something's probably up.
Yeah.
Probably up.
Especially by enough for them to not make it a catch weight. They're like, oh, we're making it a lightweight fight.
So he was 6. Did you notice I don't know if Diego has ever done this before. Did you know the weird tick that he kept doing like after every strike? So like he would like strike and then he would like do this like over and
like Justin pulling his shorts. Like,
dude, I became so fixated on it. I couldn't even watch the fight. Every exchange. I'm like, is something on his face? Like, what is he doing? Like, stop touching her chin. Like, focus.
I did not notice that.
I was getting so pressed about it. I was like, I can't look away. So yeah, I think that's like the new short grab. But I gotta do some research. I gotta see if that's like a thing or if like his throat was bothering him. I don't know. It was just a little something. Our girl Jillian Robertson, dominant performance.
Absolutely dominated.
Like bell to bell. Like, yep, this was my fight. Totally crazy.
I just want to highlight her fight IQ. Like her fight IQ on top. She knows when to land strikes. She knows when to control. She knows when she might be losing position, when she needs to switch. And she doesn't go for arm bars in the middle of rounds unless the person's super hurt or it's 100. Like she really thinks she has
it. Is it is
she
there.
Does not give up top position in the middle of rounds. It's like the last 30 seconds of the round. She's like, I beat you up for 3.5 minutes. Why not? Why not go for an arm bar? If I don't get it, I'm only on bottom for 10 seconds. I think that's such high fight IQ. I love that.
Great point. And Dean Thomas was saying like they really wanted the finish. I'm almost excited that they didn't get the finish because it gave Jillian the chance to literally show off for 3 rounds and just be completely dominant and be like, basically put the division on notice. Like
no question marks. No asterisks. Like, oh, if it had gone longer, no, like dominated a legend of the sport.
More like, thank God it didn't go longer, like I want to look up the rankings right now because she's where?
Well, she was 15 and Michelle was 14. So I don't know if I'm assuming she'll probably be 14. They usually don't update them till Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So she'll probably be 14. I mean, she's getting there, dude. She's getting there. It's so exciting.
Who fight next? Like, who do they give her next?
I know. Yeah. I need to pull up these rankings. My phone's, it's easier on my computer. But yeah, I'm so excited for her. And it's just so awesome how she's just like, yep, Fight Bananas pod. Here I come. Let's talk about it. Like, that's the kind of energy I'm here for, Okay.
I do wonder what this would look like for her had like she been at strawweight longer. Like,
yeah,
I do wonder let's see.
I'm thinking a rematch with Tabitha Ritchie.
I was kind of looking at that too. There's always Loopy.
Because like, she wants that back. She wants that back.
But at the same time, it doesn't make as much sense. Like if she can skip, it's better to skip, you know?
Yeah, like just go to Loopy.
I
Yeah.
want to see her, like she needs one more in between, I think, for it to make sense. But of course, we want to see her fight Mackenzie Dern because just the
Yeah.
grappling, the high level grappling. But Loopy
Yeah.
too. Loopy has great
Yeah.
wrestling.
That would be a
Is she
sick.
booked right now, though?
What's that?
Why am I thinking that Loopy is booked right now?
I think I thought she just fought, right?
No, you might be right. I am not awake yet. Hang on.
No, it's
tell you.
fine. The coffee's not kicking in yet, but that's why we have
Yeah,
viewers as well.
she's booked for August against Mackenzie Dern.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that,
Both of those people are already booked. That's the problem too. Is a lot of these girls are probably booked right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is Tabitha Ritchie booked right now? I feel like she might be. Tabitha Ritchie is not booked right now.
Ooh, I like. Honestly, I like that.
Just
I'm
hit the
here for that.
rematch. She can get the
I'm here for that
rematch. Yeah.
because that still bumps her up. It you know, like it kind of redeems that.
Ooh, I've got one. What about Angie Hill?
I wasn't sure. Like, is that too big of a jump?
I think that's the perfect, because Angie Hill has kind of become like a bit of a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
for that
1000%.
division.
1000%.
I think that's perfect for her because that's the one, like that's the fight that like goes, okay, you're ready for the top. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girls
like
Angela Hill move on to like beat like top 5, 6. And then the girls who don't tend to kind of sit at the bottom of the rankings or fizzle out. Have you noticed that? Like that's that, like she is that gatekeeper of that division. So I feel like that's 100%. A good one.
I like that.
She's
Looking at the rest of the
win.
card, where Peyton Talbot, what an incredible performance.
So good.
Right down the pike. Love that.
Did you see that he was like throw low, like he was saying in his podcast, he's like, you should throw low kicks on me. Like he's like telling his opponent to do that and then knocks the guy out.
You know what you should do? Right. You should help me knock you out and throw some leg kicks.
This dude's playing chess out here.
I love it. I love it. Is anybody else really fucking just like over Bueno Silva, or is it just me?
I mean, it kind of sucked to see it get finished that way. Like it was a good fight. It was a really
great fight. Honestly, I want to explain what I'm saying though. Like her striking looked very good last night. Like I don't think she normally strikes that often, and she has power. She had long combinations. You know, like it wasn't just like a quick 1-2s. Like she was like having like great success with like combining like the striking and the kicking and all that good stuff. It's just I get frustrated when people complain. I get frustrated with that. You know, like nobody wants to get finished, and she looked phenomenal. But it's like you got to cut the cut. Like I saw your brain.
I saw your brain. No, it was a good stoppage. It was a good stoppage.
Yeah.
Like and you have to be careful in Vegas too. Like jumping over the cage in Vegas is a bad idea. Like you're gonna get fined. Like, you already got half your face. Like don't get yourself fined too. It's not help, you know?
I hope she doesn't get fined. That would stink. So. That would stink. I mean, she was talking to Dana, so maybe she'll get some.
Maybe
slack.
You know? Somebody said, "Oh, Dana said he'd take care of it." I don't know if he actually did. I couldn't see it.
Well, I could see on the broadcast him saying like, "We'll talk later. We'll talk later."
Right. He's like, "Get back in the cage."
Right. So, I mean, it just sucks. I hope for a speedy recovery for her. I definitely do. It's just like
that was a nasty cut. No, it was the right stoppage. I have like I don't know. In my opinion, like if you're one of those people, like you want to keep fighting, say you want to keep fighting, even if you shouldn't, you know, like, because like there's guys who could keep fighting, who clearly don't want to keep fighting. And that's like when you say like, oh, I can't see, you know, like as soon as you say I can't see, like you quit. You quit. Whether like if you actually can't see, obviously that's a reason not to fight. But you know, if you tell a referee I can't see, the fight is over. So
for sure.
I feel like I understand I'm going to complain because I still wanted to keep fighting, even though I probably shouldn't have. And also you can't see the cut in the moment.
Yeah.
You feel the adrenaline. Like
I will say
that was like nasty in his fight. And
which one?
Grant's cut was pretty nasty. Nowhere near Amira's, but like it was pretty nasty in his fight. And Mike Brown and Grant's like, I think I got cut. And Mike Brown's like, oh, it's tiny. Like it's
I love it. I love it.
So he wouldn't think about it, which is such a bet move.
Oh, totally. Totally. But I thought Macy looked great. That girl could take a punch. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like she took a couple. She took a couple of hard ones and I was like, oh, but I will say when she landed that elbow and she smiled, like talk about like villain era type stuff right there. Like she lands it and she's just like, oh, I got you, motherfucker.
Well, like think about how, I know you haven't experienced this because you didn't fight MMA, but like when you transition to pro MMA and you start like learning to throw elbows and you're like, oh, I'm going to land it. Yeah. And then you get in there. It's so hard to land good, clean elbows.
Oh, girl.
Especially when like with girls who have active guards and are moving a lot, like it's so hard to land one. So like when you land one clean like that, I bet that feels, and you just see somebody open up. I'm sure that's like,
yeah. So I've never done the MMA version of elbow striking, but Muay Thai, like we throw elbows all the time. Yeah. And like you get stuck in the clinch and like people clinch you up and then you can't throw them. But like when you land that beautiful, it's like, yes, it's like, it feels better than a cross sometimes. It's like, it's freaking awesome. We haven't even gotten to the main event. Like, I don't even know where to begin with this man. I am the biggest Alex Pereira fan. I have been since Glory Kickboxing. He is just like,
he's so good.
There is an aura about him. And we had a really cool conversation with everybody at Buffalo Wild Wings last night about how you can teach somebody how to throw a cross, how to throw a jab, and there is a correct way to do it. But there's also something in like who does that? I love that when that happens.
I don't know how that happens.
Somebody like pressing buttons because I love press all the buttons.
Sometimes if people put thumbs up, like a little bubble pops up.
I love it.
It happens for me when I
make it rain again. That was cool. But like there's also something to be said when people have their own style and like can like figure out their own style. You would be an absolute moron to ever try and correct Alex Pereira's cross or Alex Pereira's kick because it's like, okay, on like watching him hit pads or watching him shadow box, like it's not the prettiest. And like he's constantly like coming from down here and like it's just like weird looking, right? But it works. And it's just like, dude, this guy is otherworldly. It's wild.
He has his own style and he's become a world champion doing something that works for him. And there are things that he might be able to teach to some people, like elements of his game.
Yeah.
I don't think he could ever teach someone to fight like him.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You know, I think Sean Strickland's the same way.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things Sean Strickland does that are like wrong, quote unquote, technique wise, but that style works for him. And I don't know that he could teach a seminar and teach us how to fight like him.
Yeah.
But it works for him, you know?
Yeah. And Yuri is in that same boat too. I mean, that man is so unorthodox. Like the way that they fight, it makes sense for them. And it's like, oh my God, it's so crazy.
I think I have an unpopular opinion on the Yuri situation.
Let's hear it. Yes.
And I like, okay, so you heard all the stuff. Like, dude finds out about the fight, locks himself in a cabin for 3 days and only drinks water, right?
Right.
We glorify that and we're like, oh, he's such a warrior because he's still winning at the high level. I could see us many, many years from now looking back on this and looking at him in a more Diego Sanchez light if he keeps getting knocked out. Like and I know Alex Pereira, getting knocked out by Alex Pereira doesn't mean you're going to get knocked out by other people. Obviously, he was able to take a ton of damage from Rakic, but could we see that start to happen more for Yuri because he's doing really bizarre things like not eating?
Really weird shit. Yeah.
Stuff that is not conducive to athletic performance, just like Diego Sanchez's coach was having him do. And we used to glorify Diego Sanchez for being crazy because he was winning. And I think it's kind of an unhealthy thing that we do as MMA fans, but it's so easy to do because it's such a great story. It's like, oh, he's a character. And it's like, that's nuts.
You can't look away. And it's like, Elle, don't forget, he's a samurai. Okay. They act differently. But you're so right.
They also killed themselves if they lost battles. Like,
oh
it's probably not something we should be like,
yes, baby, samurai. That's
it's a
true.
bizarre, and I everybody to each their own. He's a grown ass man. He can live his life the way he wants. We all sign up for this sport, like we all know the risks, but at the same time, it's always interesting to see somebody do something nuts while they're winning versus do something nuts while they're losing, and watch how the
narrative changes every time.
Interprets it.
And honestly, like the first time they fought and Yuri lost, I was genuinely concerned for his well-being, like his mental health. And this one was no different. I'm like, please, like, friends and family, keep checking in on your friend. Like, it's like, oh my God. But yeah, that was
bad. They like, and he's like so nuts. He was like, oh, I'm good. And like, they tried to stand him up because he looked like he was okay. And he clearly was not.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Even Alex, like you could see like he was concerned for a second. Like he was like worried for a second. So that was wild. But both of those individuals are just one of one. Like they are so unique, so talented. Pereira, if he wants to move to heavyweight, I'm still not crazy about it. But I think if anybody's gonna do it, it's probably him. And
who do you think, just out of curiosity, like who do you think are the toughest matchups for him besides Jones and Aspinall because of their size and their grappling? Like
who is his toughest opponent? Is it
besides those two guys? Who do you think he would have trouble with at heavyweight?
All right, let me look here. I mean, Dana made a great point at the post-fight press conference, and it got me thinking, like, damn, that's so true. Alex is a big dude, and he weighed, I think fight night he was around 235, 240. But it's like you go to heavyweight, those guys are not fighting at 230, 240 on fight night.
A lot of them are. Stipe did for a long time.
Really? So you don't gain as much weight.
Well, some of them don't have to cut. Some of them do. Like Sergey Pavlovich is cutting to heavyweight most of the time. That dude's massive. Tom Aspinall clearly cutting to make heavyweight. Jones was even close to 265 at that time.
I mean, I honestly, so you're saying besides John Jones and Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, I agree that those matchups stylistically and size-wise and just overall technique are going to be incredibly tough. But like, I could see him doing pretty well against a lot of other guys.
I know, I'm reading some of these names. Like, I think he's fine with Curtis Blades. I think that goes fine.
You don't think the wrestling will?
I don't. I really don't.
Runs into a lot. Curtis runs into a lot when he wrestles. Like the
Sergey way. I think Alex's timing is on another level, and he would play into that game for sure.
I could see Almeida being a problem. I think Sean's right here just because of the grappling, but I could also see him getting knocked out.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's.
I really want to see him now.
Fuck it, give him Derek Lewis. Fuck it.
Well, that'd actually be really fun.
That'd be so fucking fun.
I support that. That would be a blast.
That would be such a good fight. Like,
I forgot about this. I completely forgot you and Dave had a banana bet for this.
Oh shoot! What was the bet?
I cannot wait for Tuesday. Let's go.
Dude, wait, Sean. What was? I totally forgot. What was the bet?
It was Alex and Yuri. Dave took Yuri.
Oh, good.
Maddie doesn't even remember.
I don't. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. Sean, you are the real MVP because now I have to remind Dave to get that hat motherfucking ready. Hell yeah. Love that. Love that. Love our fans. Love our viewers because that's the shit I'm here for.
We got something about.
Oh, MVP. Yes. I'm so glad you brought this up. So I thought the fight was way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be incredibly boring because two high-level strikers, it can get pretty boring because their brain is moving so fast. They're playing chess together. I thought Ian did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Fought very smart.
And
I don't understand that was a super close fight, guys.
It was very close.
I don't understand this. Like,
I had it as like a potential draw. Like,
what round would have been the 10-8 though?
I
didn't think there were any 10-8 rounds.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. The reason I say that is because it's like Ian had round 1, MVP had round 2, and I don't know how you even begin to score round 3 because it was just so like in certain elements of that round, it's like, what do you score higher and like that sort of thing. It was very close.
No, I agree.
Very
It was
close.
super close, and I don't think you can be that upset either way. Yes, MVP chose a more exciting path to victory than Ian Gary did, but Ian Gary fought really smart. He's not my favorite person in the MMA community.
Yeah, I texted you and Dave, and I was just like, ugh.
I can still admit that he had a really good game plan.
Yeah,
fought really smart, and MVP did not have the grappling defense. Like, you cannot get mad at the guy who is in a dominant position for being in a dominant position, and then ignore the fact that MVP didn't have the experience to deal with that.
I feel like he didn't do a single thing right on the ground.
He has a unique body type, so I feel like there's certain things he can do that a lot of people can't. Like, bringing the arms over is a pretty like white belt back defense, but it works for a guy that's built like him. And he did do well there, and he like spent so long not fighting the feet. He like let Ian get to these really dominant positions, and he's like, okay, I think I'll fight the hands now.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear your take on when Ian took his back and MVP was just kind of like on all fours holding him. He literally did nothing. Why?
I think by the time he was like, I think it's just a discrepancy in their grappling levels. I think Ian Gary's been grappling at a high level longer than MVP has.
Right.
Even though MVP's been fighting so long, that's not his forte.
Right.
And I think when there's a difference in the level of grappling, it's the amount of time that it takes you to start doing the right things. And so if the guy that you're grappling with is better than you, he's going to be 3-4 steps ahead of you by the time you're addressing what you need to address. And when he was high before he got the hook super deep, that's when he should have been trying to shake him off.
Yeah. Like I was like, why isn't he shaking?
Ian Gary had a super deep hook.
Yeah.
And at that point, even if you're a little high, if I have a super deep hook, I'm balanced. I can stay up. I can post on the back of your head. I can put my hands down on the mat to keep from getting shaken off. I just don't think he has the level of grappling that Ian Gary does, which it's not his style.
Yeah.
He was winning the striking exchanges, but he wasn't throwing enough volume to clearly outwork Ian Gary, who controlled the bulk of the fight.
Yeah, and that's where that point striking comes into play.
I don't think it's a fight you can be upset about either way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Ian rubs me the wrong way at times, but I think it was a pretty solid fight. Any other moments that we missed? Really, I think that was like the big ones I wanted to get to. Yeah. Obviously, Michelle Waterson Gomez, pour one out,
dude. I was like emotional. I don't even know her. Like, I've never met that girl in my life, and I was like,
I got emotional too. I don't know why. Like,
I'm like,
I respect her. I never like super followed her, but I respect what she's done for female combat sports. She is an incredible talent, has done incredible things. And then to see like the highlight reel they play, I was like,
I think she's a lot like Holly. Like, there's a reason they're really good friends. Like, you can tell they're just genuinely good people in the world.
Yes.
Like, whether or not you like them as fighters, like, you can tell they're good people. Like, Michelle Waterson Gomez is an amazing mother. Like, clearly loves her family. It's just a good person. So it's like, it's always sad to see someone who's been fighting that long retire. But I also think it scares me. Like, what is life like after fighting? And seeing these people that we look up to, watch them struggle with that when they're like, what am I if I'm not a fighter? It's like, shit, what am I? Because I'm not you,
It is like that,
I'm not doing this.
That we could honestly have an entire topic on that situation. I would love to have a retired fighter come on our podcast, or a psychologist or something, because this conversation needs to be talked about, because there are so many fighters who don't have another hobby, another passion, another route. And so you see these fighters fighting way too long because that is their source of income, but also because they have nothing else to do.
Their purpose. It's
literally their purpose.
We need purpose. People who lack purpose in life are miserable.
Yep. 1,000%. 1,000%. I think that's a great put a pin in that. Let's lock down a psychologist.
We'll find that. We'll find some expert.
Love that.
Like
Love that. I am so here for that.
I saw this question.
Was really hurt T-City didn't fight Lopez.
He was really sick.
Yeah,
like, really,
yeah.
really
Flu stuff. I think even maybe a little more serious. I'm not sure, but yeah, the first red flag was him not making weight. Definitely was dealing with some type of illness, and then, he was probably trying to dog it out and was like, I'm good. And then, I think I saw something.
You tend to get worse. If
Oh
you're sick,
God, yeah, your immune system just shuts down. So if I were to guess, the doctors probably put an end to it. So yeah, that's what happened. He'll be back though, I'm sure.
Do you think he's back at featherweight or lightweight? Because he's made some hints that he might move up to 155 before, and I've seen the dude in person. He's a big dude.
For me, he's never had an issue making weight. I think the only reason he didn't make weight this time around is because he's sick and he was struggling. But I think he's
a big guy.
Yeah. Well, this is quite the comment. All right. I'm a big Aspinall fan, but with the way Alex is playing the game, I'm not so sure if we saw Aspinall versus Pereira. I think Pereira could do it, but Tom's huge. Yeah, Tom is huge and fast and not afraid to get knocked out and well-rounded. His jiu-jitsu is incredible. So it's I don't know. That would be, if Pereira were to pull that off, GOAT status. For real. But
yeah, I mean, he's already in the GOAT argument, but
yeah, he's getting there.
If he wins a belt at heavyweight, I don't think anybody's dethroning him. That would be insanity. Three division champion.
Oh my God, so cool. So cool. Nice. But listen, we gotta go. This was a great episode. We didn't even get to half the shit we wanted to talk about, but the good news is we'll see you Tuesday, baby. The Fight Banana Show Tuesday. Where we're just probably going to talk about all this again and more because it's a 2-hour show and we love that for us. What is on your agenda this week? Anything fun? Anything exciting? How's the puppy?
The puppy's a terror. He's adorable, but he's psychotic. But the most exciting thing about this week is that on Wednesday I will be flying to Anaheim, California.
Let's go.
For Game Bred Boxing.
Let's go.
Versus Diaz. So
I love it. You guys are going to crush the media. Keep me posted on everything. Share it all. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Wow Wipes once again. Make sure you head over to their website. Oh, she had to make an appearance. We caught her at a good time. She's tired.
Aww.
Yeah. Because her life is so hard. It's so hard. But anyway.
Freeloader.
Yes. Thank you for joining the Sunday Morning Brew. This is what was brewing. And we love hanging out with you. Cheers to good coffee and good fights. We will see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, guys.